side at 11th and Guilford Street. One in Jonestown at the intersection that's being reconstructed right now, and then one at the Anvil Fire Department. We respond to about 23,500 incidents a year, which usually makes people kind of go, whoa, wow. You see all the orange and white ambulances, they all kind of look the same. We actually have 12 ambulances, 4 paramedic squads, 5 wheelchair vans, some additional support vehicles. From a response side of the house, we're not doing just local stuff. We have our wheelchairs, our basic life support, our advanced life support, but we're heavily involved with the task force from an EMS response side. Have been involved in 3 out-of-state deployments. Well, New Jersey was 2 individual actual responses. I had a fortunate opportunity to be the coordinator for one of them. We operate on a $6.9 million budget, and all of our funding comes purely from fee-for-service and donations. I don't think there's many nonprofits that size that are at a local level. I mean, you see your American Red Crosses and American Heart Associations, but from a local perspective, we're fairly large for the community. We have been recognized as the Ambulance Service of the Year for the Commonwealth in 2009, and recently we received our American Heart Association bronze level recognition for cardiac care in cooperation with the Good Sam. And basically, what I can tell you honestly is if you're going to have a heart attack, this is the place to do it right now. Our times are unbelievable. Yeah, don't go somewhere else. I always said I think that I would never admit it completely, but maybe we've partnered to get 5 guys into town. We have 120 staff, and all of our staff obviously have the basic level care all the way through our paramedics. We have a couple that are critical care paramedics, and it's really been an impressive process to see where our system has come. Our heart monitors that we carry are $35,000 a piece. An ambulance is $100,000 to replace. Stretchers about $12,000. So it's real easy for you to take the ability to see what the expenses are. We talk about supplies. Our supplies are at $120,000 a year just to carry the disposable supplies that we use on all of our responses. It's a very unique world that we live in. Insurance companies are paying less and less. So to meet that $6.9 million budget from a business perspective, to throw it out there for the business guys, we're actually generating about $14.2 million of invoicing. But because of the way insurance reimburses, we don't sell a pack of bologna for $4.99 and get paid $4.99. From Medicare, we get about 32 to 39% of what we bill. Medicaid, we're getting about 19% of what we bill. So the rest of that goes into what we call contractual allowance. And on top of that, we're running bad debt in the areas of about $800,000 a year. And we talked about those individuals that they just don't have anything to pay. We're fortunate because we are a nonprofit in the community that's still part of our mission, is to make sure we take care of everybody. We begin to break out charitable care, so we can start to identify if you really don't have the ability to pay. It's not bad debt; it's charitable care. And as we're beginning to break that out, we're looking at about $80,000 a year is what we're estimating this year to be at just charitable care. And we have phenomenal partners in the community, between the fire departments, the police departments, the hospital. Obviously we supported the hazmat team in the past with incidents. But as you came into our building, you walked into our front billing office. We have 3 billers up front. They're all accredited by the National Accrediting Agency for Ambulance Coding. Also, there was the communication center up there. So the folks at 911 handle the 911 responses and dispatch us, and that's about 53% of our volume in a year. The other 47% are 7-digit phone calls here for inter-facility transfers, and we actually currently have the contract with the VA Medical Center and handle all of the VA transfers, which we have a great partnership with them. As you came down the hallway, it's our administrative staff, and then obviously back this hallway to here is where the operational folks are. So during the day, we staff 3 ambulances, 2 paramedic units, the battalion chief, and then 4 wheelchair vans out of this station. We have 2 units on the north side, 1 unit in Jonestown, 1 unit in Anvil. And we do what's called system status management. So we dynamically deploy our vehicles based upon volumes of where resources are available. So if you're ever driving down the road and see one of our units sitting on a street corner, they're systematically deployed so that they're in a position to respond. We monitor our response times weekly. just to see that we're meeting our goals. It's funny because there's not really a specific national standard. Somebody just kind of pulled a number out of the air, and that's kind of what we've all measured ourselves upon. And they want to see 90% of your responses from dispatch until you're on scene of 8 minutes or less. We average right now on a weekly basis an average response time of about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're pretty proud of that. Doesn't mean every response gets that. Obviously, from here to Cornwall is a little bit longer of a trip, but we're very proud of the urgency, the appropriateness at our crews, and that time actually reflects those dispatches that the folks at EMA tell us to go, no lights and no sirens. So just because an ambulance is driving down the road with no lights and no sirens doesn't mean they're not going to a response. So if you're ever driving behind them and all of a sudden they pull off to the side of the road and turn their lights on, that means their response was indicated that we should not use lights and sirens. It's a little misconception for folks, but we've got a phenomenal system here. If anybody ever wants to take a look at it in more depth, love to have you, but we're extremely proud of what we do here. So glad we could host you today, and I'm glad, thankful I could be on the committee. So
thank you.